Art as a medium has been the oldest, simplest, and most widely used language globally. Right from the cave paintings, murals in historic places, to illustration in books, art has been used to express various emotions, spread knowledge, and has been incredibly important to the development of science. One cannot imagine Darwin's widely popular The Voyage of the HMS Beagle without the blown-up images of fleas, or Salim Ali's Book of Indian Birds without those wonderful illustrations. These nature illustrations have helped people admire and understand the marvels of nature.
Mrs. Sangeetha Kadur is a wildlife artist who is driven by deep appreciation for natural world and art. Her illustrations have helped young researchers to communicate their work in a manner that will interest the common people. From complex relationship in mixed bird flocks, importance of frugivorous birds in the ecosystems, to the history of butterflies in the Sanjay Gandhi National Park. Vydhehi Kadur, a keen birder and artist, is a creative director of Felis Creations, a media company that works with National Geographic and BBC. Together, they have brought the story of hummingbirds to life with their book, Hummingbirds Volume I. We request both of them to tell us more about the book and their journey.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. I would like to especially thank BNHS and all the members for this special occasion, for giving us this opportunity to present this book and our work in front of the esteemed members of BNHS. I think before that, I would like to share a few special moments I've had with BNHS. I was very excited about 13 years back when I got to know about the certificate course in ornithology, and I was excited to do that at Point Calamar. And even recently, the certificate course in botany, it was really exciting, and I've been interested in the natural world for a long time. And also a special mention and thank you to Dr. Asad Rahmani, because 2 years back, I was in Bombay. And that was my first visit, and the very reason I was here was because he gave me this opportunity to work with the bird specimens that were in the library, and to look at them and sketch them to understand their feather patterns and structures, and it was very helpful, and thank you so much. So with regard to the hummingbirds, 1 minute. So Vydhehi and I have been part of this amazing book, Hummingbirds, for almost 10 years now. And Gorga Science Foundations has been the publishers of the book, and we are very honored to be the artist on this particular book. Before I go ahead with talking more about the book, I would like to show a small little clip about hummingbirds, and then we could discuss more about them. Thank you.
In South America lives a group of extraordinary animals. They are amongst the most spectacular creatures on Earth. They have fascinated us for as long as we've known of them. They are hummingbirds, and their glittering colors and their prowess in the air are unmatched. They are the celebrities, the stars wonders of the bird world.
Yes, so that was a small glimpse into the world of hummingbirds, and we thought we could start off with the best person that all of us know, David Attenborough. Many of you would have recognized his voice and his contribution. Like, they did a film on hummingbirds, which was Magic in the Air. So, with 1 minute. Okay, fine. So, with regard to the book. So hummingbirds, whenever many of you listen to the word hummingbirds, what are the things that come to mind? Especially with children, it mainly refers to the general knowledge. You know, they get to know about, the heartbeat of the hummingbird, or they know about the bee hummingbird, which is the most smallest bird in the world, or their, the wing beat, which is 70 to 80 times per second, and the heartbeat in flight. It is amazing to know that 1,260 times per second, per minute. So while they're seated, their heartbeat is 500, whereas a human's heartbeat is about 70 to 80 beats per minute. So it's amazing to know how their metabolism is. So it's mainly a lot of children these are the basic facts that they gather about hummingbirds initially. But little do they know that hummingbirds are not found in the old world, which is the hummingbirds are found only in the new world. And the other important fact about hummingbirds is that there are about 363 species of hummingbirds and hummingbird species, and they form the second largest bird families in this world. This particular book, Hummingbirds Volume I, we focused on the North American species, Central American species, and in Mexico and the islands, which is about 127 species in total. So we have a next volume coming up, which is a big task of 263 species, and in South America alone. So hummingbirds have been threatened, and there are 2 species that are extinct already. So it's mainly deforestation that has been a big threat to them. So Gorgas Science Foundation has, the publishers of this book, they had been wanting to do this book for a very long time, and it's mainly because of how fascinating they are. And also a bird which is the second largest family, they thought requires a special book of its own. In India, one family that many people get confused with hummingbirds are the sunbirds. And we had an exhibition, a book launch of this in Bangalore recently, and we had many schools who came by to look at the works and to look at the artworks and the book. And many of them, we spoke to them, and they all think, not all, but a few, big majority of them think we have hummingbirds in India, and they feel they have seen hummingbirds in their gardens. But this exhibition or this book, in a way, has become like a small awareness for people, even in India, that we do not have hummingbirds and it's sunbirds. So the difference between them is that the sunbirds are old world species, and the hummingbirds are found nowhere else in the world other than in the Americas. And there are 363 species of hummingbirds, and whereas there are 132 species of sunbirds in the old world. And sunbirds are known for their hovering as well, but not as amazing as the hummingbirds. The males are often larger than the females in sunbirds, whereas it's the other way around in the hummingbirds. And the nests, of course, are quite different. The hummingbird nests are more cup-shaped, and also some are conical, whereas the sunbird nests are pendant and they're hanging. So there are a few differences, and then hopefully we will get a chance to even illustrate the 132 species, including the species of sunbirds in India as well. So with this, I would like to hand over the mic to Vydhehi, who will elaborate more about the Hummingbird project itself in detail. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. And as Sangeetha was mentioning, I would also like to thank BNHS for this privilege and platform. And the last attempt at bringing hummingbirds into a fine art, large format book like this was about 150 years ago by John Gould. And since then, no one has attempted to bring this large family of birds into one book, especially not in fine art format. And that is something that Gorgas Science Foundation has to be immensely thanked for, because as Dr. Apte and we were discussing this afternoon, there aren't, media is very important in trying to inspire people to think about conservation. And art is one of those important medias that inspire people to think about the natural world. So this is what Gorgas Science Foundation aimed at with this book. So with this book, we have covered about 127 species across the northern parts of America and Central. And the remaining 263 species, as Sangeetha was mentioning, will be in Volume 2. And the author of this book is a very esteemed avian biologist, John C. Irwin, who has led many expeditions to the southern part of America, especially in pursuit of the hummingbirds.
So these are a few images from the book that we have put together, and we hope that you all enjoy it and would, go travel to the US to see the hummingbirds. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We would now request Mr. Homi Khusrokhan and Dr. Deepak Apte to come on the stage to release the book.